Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sandbox Wednesday stream. I'm Alex Florez, aka Kamisazi, joined here in mind, body, soul, and now, finally, voice by Lucas is Right. We had a weird start to the show.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit late. We're doing okay. We're
good. We're solid.
All right.
We're awesome.
So, with that very strange start to things, this is the Care Bears Game Jam Awards. So you're joining us to check out who won the Game Jam.
The amazing people that threw some amazing stuff right at our faces.
Mr. Furious X says, shh, don't tell the other streams. Wednesday is my favorite stream. We will keep that secret. I promise.
Totally between us.
Not telling anybody.
185 people that are watching right now.
Pointed out by Passive Income, Care Bears avatars get assigned in 12-ish hours. I'm not sure assigned is the right word, but revealed. I think revealed is what we usually call it. So
yeah,
those will be revealing in the next day. You may need to hit refresh metadata on OpenSea, but I can't wait. I picked up 2. And I'm excited to see what they're going to look like.
I grabbed one and my wife grabbed one. I hope I get a robot bear.
I was about to say, I know we know you're hoping for a robot.
Yeah, I'm predictable.
All right, we're just going to take a look at what this Game Jam is all about. I'm going to zoom and get rid of those ads here. All right, the Care Bears Game Jam. Rewards. Well, okay. Rules are simple. Create a game experience inspired by the Care Bears universe. It's pretty simple. The rules are more complicated than that. But that rule is simple.
The basics. Very straightforward.
Reward pool was 30,000 sand. First place is 12,000 sand. Second place, 7,000 sand. Third place, 4,000 sand. And 4th through 10th place each get 1,000 sand. We don't need to worry about the entry guidelines. We're all past that. But yeah, that was basically it. That was simple. Yeah. So without any further ado, I guess we should show the top 10.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to this. I saw a lot of the ones that you guys were testing, but I didn't actually see what the final results were. And I have my list written down, and I'm curious how similar it is to the actual final winners.
Right. All right. I'm going to hide my screen real quickly here. While I get the video set up. I just need to make sure my my audio here is connected correctly. My this didn't have to do with our weird start, but my drivers updated and it kind of like scrambled where some of my settings were. So I need to fix this real quickly. We're doing it live, folks.
Doing it live.
Joe's favorite way of doing everything. One of these days, I'm going to say something like that, and people are going to go, who's Joe?
Never. He is timeless.
Oh, that's why I can't. I can right-click that now. So that changed. There we go. Move that there. Perfect. Okay. All right. Are you all ready?
Yes.
Coming in, and remember, these top 10 are in no particular order. These are just the top 10, so that includes 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place. We just get to know who all of our finalists are.
Okay.
Actually, okay, this is a good question in the chat, though, and I want to answer this before it gets buried underneath
Is it the Quest of Triloga question?
Yes, it is a good question. So how did they make their cultural map? Can we make duplicates? Would they have to undo all the changes later? So technically there is a way to do duplicates. I'm not sure if they did specifically, or if they decided to just make all the changes and we'll revert them later. That's kind of a painful decision to make, right? But Quest of Triloga, as being part of the alpha season, had some extra support So they may have been able to make a duplicate. There is a way to do it that only works for admins right now. So they may have had some help with that. We do plan on bringing some of these controls to the dashboard, so that way you can do things like rename, duplicate, and make other sorts of changes like that from your account. So we'll see how those changes come around. It's things that are possible, but like don't have an interface for them yet. So it is, if you are involved in an alpha season, you and those options are not there, we might be able to help you out with that.
Good to know.
All right, so on to our top 10 in no particular order.
Are we giving out all 10 right now?
It's all 10. It's all 10.
And
so
we'll tell
so
them
first, second, and third
later.
will be somewhere in here, but you don't get to know what it is yet.
Okay.
Our finalists for the Care Bears Game Jam. Coming up first, not first place, but first in this video is Maze Bear by Naroti.
Mm.
I'm getting like really weird feedback on my headphones again, and I don't know what's up with that.
I like how the Care Bears on the bench are kind of like dancing. Their heads were bobbing back and forth in synchronization. Or they were synchronized.
Yeah, this game actually had a lot of custom assets. So these were custom made Care Bears.
Oh, wow.
They're not from the official NFT collection. And they did some work with like custom animations, and what's really nice about this one is the color palette. They did this really nice, pleasing pastel coloring. Next up is Race to Care by Sandbox Studio. This one was surprisingly cool. Like I was concerned when I saw a racing game, right? Because we don't have real racing mechanics in the sandbox yet. So it's always kind of you always wonder like how are they going to pull it off. And this one was surprisingly fun to play. I have some feedback for them that I think would like really enhance this game. One of the main things is that there's no like time limit. But you do have this collect hearts thing for 1,000 hearts. And so it's me being me, it's like I've got to collect every heart, right? And it makes the race take forever. So without there being any time restrictions, and with that goal in my mind to collect 1,000 hearts, it really slows down the gameplay. But this was still really cute, really fun, and worked like it really felt like a kart racer game in a way that I wasn't expecting. So definitely give that a chance. Next up is Care Rail Co. by Manguda. This blew me away. I don't know if you got a chance to play this, Lucas.
I didn't. I missed this one completely.
The mechanics were like really super solid on this one. And basically you put down different tracks, and you can change what tracks are set in each of these positions, and the train follows the tracks that you set. And it works really well. Like, yeah, you're watching it right now. Like, that's what the actual gameplay is. It worked really well.
Next, I'll have to go find this one in Game Maker. Who is that by?
Manguda.
Manguda.
Next is Bear Kitchen by Yuri 308. We've seen Yuri many times in the game jams. And this was another one that blew me away, how well this game works. So you have to look at the board to see what people are ordering, and then assemble the right dishes for them out of various parts. Like, you have to take things to the chopping block and hit them. You have to drop the chopped potatoes into the oil, and really cute animations like the fries bouncing in the fry-later. Yeah, really super cute, and a fun challenge. I got 9 on this. I don't know if that's the max score because it's a single digit scoreboard, I was very close to getting 10, and I don't know what would have happened if I got 10.
It would have exploded.
Possibly.
The internet itself would have shut down.
Next is Coin-A-Lot by Navivox. This one crashed my computer a lot.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's really cool. I love the cannon animation. It kind of like expands as it launches these coins out, and it looks great. I think that maybe I was filling up my RAM with too many coins, and there's too many physics interactions. I don't know if there's a way to like we can void it, and maybe that would help with the crashing. It was really cool, and I hope it gets more stable.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, once the coins hit, have them void so that there's the assets just piling up.
Right, and I'm not sure if they were doing that or not. It was hard to tell. Next is Rainbow Party by One Mine or One Mini. I'm not sure how to say the name, but this is what I put in the group of like late 90s platformers is what it feels like Mario 64, Spyro, Donkey Kong 60, all the 64s platformers, which is a genre that I love. So this one's close to my heart. Just some really good collection quests. Next up is Color It If You Can by Pietro Perlson 2012. This was another one that kind of surprised me in how well it worked. You can color this sheet by grabbing different crayons. Yeah, it was like this reminds me a lot of like the kind of games that I would get when I was a kid. Like the intended age for like Care Bears stuff. This feels like right up their alley, and you can see that the colors are changing from yellow to orange as they drag the red crayon over it. So you actually get to color this page, and there's an eraser and everything. There is also sticker alignment, and there's, I don't know if it'll show in the video, there's also a puzzle that you can do. So this just felt very on brand for Care Bears stuff.
Wow, this is really cool. So you place the stickers, and if it's in the right spot, then boom, point.
Yeah, like it pops in and then is like stuck to the page.
That's amazing.
Next is Plunk Saves Care-A-Lot, not by Pietro Perlson. That's actually by somebody else, and I know who it is.
Was it by me? Did I do it?
It's not by you.
Okay, cool.
I don't want to say the wrong name here, but I believe I know who this is. 1 second.
Are they in the chat? Can we ask?
I mean, somebody might say it. Somebody help me out if you know. It is by Game Dizzy. Okay, I was double checking. I was about to go to the Game Dizzy tool to check if it was by Dizzy, because I didn't want to say it and like get it wrong doubly. So I'm gonna go bonk Andy on the head for putting the wrong name here. But this is by Game Dizzy, and it's another excellent game. This is a straight up puzzler game. Like, I mean, there is some skill to the jumps, but it's definitely very much like a timing puzzler. You know, you have to line up what you're doing with those vines so you don't die. Really excellent game. I would have liked more levels, but you know, there's only so much you can do for a game jam. So yeah, only problem, game was too short. Rainbow Race. I love
hearing that.
Sun versus Storm by, I can't read it because it's white on white, by Moz. Another name that we've seen on the game jams a whole bunch. And this one is what I'd put in like the variety platformer category here, where you've got a bunch of different like little puzzles all connected by one platforming mechanic. I'm not sure like if there's a technical name for that, but I've been seeing it. I actually saw it in at least like 3 games. Actually, all 3 of them are in the top 10. So this is, I don't know if this is a category of game that's unique to the Sandbox, but it's like single level multi-puzzle platformer.
Okay.
I'd call it a variety game. So yeah.
Is that a technical term? Like variety
Sure.
game? Is that like No, I'm saying like, is that used elsewhere? Like, I'm wondering because I would like to look that up on like other platforms.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I just made it up, kind of.
I
Next
like
is
it.
Sports Day by Kajoijid. This is another. This is one of the other. I think all three of them. Yeah. So that first game, that maze game, along with Maz's game that we just saw and Kajoijid's game here, all fit into that multi-puzzle platformer game. I'd call them a variety platformer, I guess.
Okay.
Where it's like mini games all tied together by a single platforming mechanic. Although what's unique in Sports Day is that it's more kind of like Fall Guys. It's randomized levels with a scoreboard, and you can win or lose sections. But if you win a majority of the sections, then you win the whole game. All right. So we're just all sort of all over the place with our technical difficulties here. I'm really sorry, Game Dizzy, that your name did not show up correctly on the video. We'll make sure to get that fixed before it goes up on YouTube. All right. What was your favorite, Lucas, out of all that? Who are you hoping to be in?
I was the Rainbow Road one, the one the hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the train one, but the Rainbow Road one, it just reminded me of Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
Like specifically Rainbow Road track, and that was my favorite.
That I know I mentioned before that it had well, actually maybe I didn't mention before. I thought it before that it has really good assets between the enemies and the decorations. It's very very nicely presented.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, there's something about it that was smooth, easy, and I just really enjoyed it.
Smooth and easy.
Yeah, it didn't like it. It didn't seem like it was clipping with itself. You know, there was no contrast. I knew I was in a Care Bear game from start to finish. Like, it was really cool. Plus, I'm really excited for racing games to actually hit the sandbox full-fledged. So they kind of like grabbed onto that anticipation and really just rode it.
Dancing Sweater. Let's talk about that later because I'm not. I'm confused on that. Sandbox is partnered with Sandstorm, so I don't know. The Sandstorm NFTs are typically minted on Sandbox, so I would need more information before talking about that further. I don't know. Lucas, can you reach out to Dancing Sweater about that?
I will.
Okay. I
think Sweater, I'll message you on Twitter.
Yeah. I would like some more info there because as far as I know, Game Dizzy is a pretty outstanding member of the community.
He's
outstanding and upstanding.
He's an incredible human being.
I would love to say that. So perhaps there's just a misunderstanding here. Same person with a different profile picture. Oh, maybe. There's all sorts of weird stuff going on.
There's tons of possibilities.
Yeah. All right. So, I think without much else to say, let's go on to our top 3. You ready?
I am. I'm excited.
Oh, you're frozen though.
I'm okay.
I don't even have Chrome open. Why'd you freeze?
Because I'm just that cool.
There you go. You just. All right. So when I was isolated in my hotel room in Canada because I got COVID, there was a marathon of Batman movies, including Batman Forever with Arnold Schwarzenegger as
Mr. Freeze.
Is it Dr. Freeze? Or is it Mr. Freeze?
Mr. Freeze.
Okay. He is a scientist.
He is a doctor. He is a doctor, but I think it's Mr.
He goes by
Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's Mr. Freeze.
Okay. Yeah, it's Mr. Freeze sounds better, I think.
Yeah.
But even though I typically like alliterations, Dr. Freeze would make sense. But I don't know, something about Mr. and Freeze sounds better than Dr. Freeze. Ragnarok date for the Game Jam. I don't know, actually. That's I'll see what I can find out from Andy. The Ragnarok Game Jam is being run by the Korean sandbox community, or like community managers. So they're doing, I think they already finished their judging. So they may just be tabulating the scores or doing something. That was a very complicated game jam. There were a lot of like best in show, best art kind of like prizes. There was a very, like, we were reading it on stream and I was getting confused by just the number of things going on. It was like very cool. I was just not expecting that level of detail. So they may be still deciding some things there, but I will find out what I can about that jam. All right. Here we go. Top 3, and it opened on the wrong screen. Hey, here we go. Railco by Manguda is in 3rd place.
I'm gonna have to play this one after we get off stream
Yeah,
today.
you really are. Get on that.
I will. Thank you.
I need to fix your green screen is like messing up. I'm gonna try to fix that.
Mine is?
Well, my filtering on your green screen
Gotcha.
is like, whoa, why is it so? Oh. Like I said, we're doing it live today. In 2nd place is Race to Care by Sandbox Studio.
Yay!
There we go. I fixed it. The window opened up really compressed, so I was dragging the slider, but it only had like a few pixels of difference between on and off for the green screen.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so this video doesn't even, I think, well, maybe it does.
It doesn't do it total justice, but it is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's more stuff going on here that you don't see in this clip. But even just the animation on they look like cacao demons to me from Doom. Right? With the one eye and spikes.
Yeah. I call those, no, never mind. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think they're called cacao demons. Yeah, they got the one eye and the big mouth.
Yeah, I read all the Doom novels, like 10, 15 years ago, and they had like individual names for all of them. Like the one that has 2 legs and the big mouth was like a pinky, and I do not think that's what it was called in the games, or was it?
No, it's called a pinky. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Never mind.
And in 1st place, we have Sports Day by Kadoji.
Poor 1st place. They're on the edge of their seat, and we're just over here talking about novels from the 90s.
Yeah. So we're gonna get to play this on stream. Like I said, this one's very much like Fall Guys. I'm excited to see this one once we have multiplayer working, which I'm from everything that I'm seeing with the tests for 0.8, this game could be multiplayer in 0.8.
Nice.
As far as I can tell, there will probably definitely need to be changes, but I think we're gonna have it. As far as I can tell, we're actively testing multiplayer with mechanics like that. So
super exciting.
Very exciting. Just the whole being there. All right. So right now you can find this game on page 67 of the Game Maker Drafts Gallery. Hero Protagonist says, "Thank you, Alex, for Wizzy de los Mortes. Got it in my wallet a few days ago. You're welcome."
I didn't know you'd sent those out yet.
I did. Everybody who had the tokens of friendship got those. There's still so I sent the list for the Poe app that we're supposed to be doing the drawing from, but I haven't heard back from the person who runs those mailing lists. So I'm gonna have to check in on that and see what's up.
Okay.
But the first 100 for the Poe app should be going out, hopefully no later than tomorrow. And then Half-Dork's gonna have to order more links for the Poe app, but they'll do that once the first links start getting claimed.
Gotcha.
Hi Alex, what did you think about the Hen Game Studio project in the Care Bears Game Jam? I think I remember liking it, but I don't remember off the top of my head which one it was. You got to remember I played about 30 different, not hundreds, but about 30
thousands.
different. a whole bunch of Care Bears games all in the same day, in the same couple days. So some of they start to meld together in my memory, which is why I take notes while I'm playing them and I score them right as I'm playing them, because otherwise I'll lose track. It was the Broken Dreams. Oh yes, I do remember that one. It was really super cool. I loved the dropping into the belly of the bears. It had a really cool like transition between. For each, there's multiple people judging, and it gets scored from an average of all the judges. So I believe for me it was either, I think it was in the top 10 for me. I think it was maybe around 9th, 10th, or 11th place. It was very close in the top 10 for me. But like I said, it's not just my vote that counts for everything. I'd be happy to send you some notes. I know that you've emailed me before about feedback on your game, so I'd be happy to email you what the feedback was on this one. There's almost always games that I wish were in the top 10 that are not in the top 10 because we get so many good entries. Care Bears was not the highest number of Game Jam entries we've had. There were over 20 entries for this one. We've had as many as like, I think 80 was like one of the highest entries we had, but that's when we had like a whole month for people to make games. And that is exhausting. Like, I love playing games, but after you play like 80 games in a row with the conscious thought to be critical about the way that they're made, it's very tiring. There's always lots of really good games, and they can't all be in the top 10, but yours was very good, and we did have some feedback on it, so I'll share that with you after the show. All right, so this is our first place winner. This is Sports Day by Kajoiji. Turn up the music here.
Kajoiji, spell that for us.
It's wait, does it show it if I do one of these? No, it doesn't. Maybe it's like KAJOYID or something like that.
Okay.
If you look up Sports Day on the Game Disease.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look it up through Sports Day.
It should show up, and it's on page.
Cool.
I think I said 67. I think is what I said it was on. All right. This is another one that had really good custom assets. So I think Cheer Bear over here is the original one. No, it's not actually. So yeah, we would want to make these like the official NFTs if we were to release this, because we want it to be all official. But I can tell because it's got a custom tail. The ones that I made, the template that I made doesn't have the custom tail, but it's still very cute. Did a really good job on making. I don't think their tails wiggle. They're just little fluffy.
Maybe they're just not happy.
Well, these ones look pretty happy to me. But did a real good job of copying the face style. So that's like, I couldn't tell it wasn't official at first. And I'm the one who came up with the design for them. So very cool to see that work, and just like really cute assets like these flowers and the strawberry trees, strawberry bush. They grow on a bush. I've picked strawberries before. I know what they grow on. Don't judge me.
They grow from vines. We all know it, Alex. Stop trying to fool us.
All right.
So is that Sports Bear or is that Sandbox Bear?
That's Sandbox Bear.
Okay.
Yeah, this is an original character bear. But what would be cool to see in this game is if this game was gated to only people who have Care Bears avatars.
Oh, snap.
What do you think about that? What if we made the game experience only for Care Bears players?
Wow. It's a bold move.
And multiplayer. And then you just have a whole bunch of different...
You can only multiplay if you have a Care Bear, or you have to have one person in the group that has Care Bear for everybody to play.
I would think only multiplayer for. Well, it would be gated to only Care Bears players.
Okay.
And it would also be multiplayer. And then instead of seeing like the main characters running around from the Care Bears, you would see, everybody's custom characters running around. That'd be pretty cool, I think.
I like it.
So the first thing here is kind of a tour, and it's like giving you little tutorials on each of the competitions. So we've got catching chickens here. You got to catch white chickens to get the highest score. Golden chickens are worth more. We've got, does it say a name? It's not, it doesn't really have a name, but this is like the disappearing platforms. I died hard on this one. Hey, Conrad, how's it going? Do I know when the prize for the 24-hour streams will be given out? I believe Panda has given that list to the people who send the sand out. I don't know how quickly they do that after they get that list. Psst, Alex has a corner of his green screen uncovered. It's not. My light tilted.
Oh.
Fixed.
Boom.
It's because I moved my curtain and it like knocked into my light. Panda said within the month, according to Huddle Hill.
It's only the 16th, so still got some time.
Oh, well, yeah, I didn't explain what this game is. So this is the disappearing platforms. So like you have to pay attention to the color, and then it's got things that'll knock you off the platforms.
You get murked off of there too?
Yep. And
that's wonderful.
And it's a memory game. Also, you don't see what the colors are after. you have to memorize them at the start. And I am terrible at that. It's really hard.
Play it real quick. Play it real quick.
We'll get there. We have to do this part first, which is seeing what they all are. This one's balloon collection. You have to jump around and collect balloons. That one I owned pretty well. It was pretty easy to get the high score on that one. Granted, I'm fighting against bots, but this one is pushing a ball up obstacles, up and over and between obstacles to get to the end. That one wasn't as bad. This one I think could be made harder. I'm not asking for it to be made harder, but it wasn't too hard for me. But I see like if people are getting impatient and rushing it, it could be very bad. All right, next one is this is like the locked doors thing that says what's his name's castle. It's a Japanese name.
Howling? No.
Howl's Moving Castle. No. With some doors are locked, some doors are unlocked, and you have to go through those parts fast enough. Takashi's Castle.
I was way off.
Castle. I'm surprised you don't know about Takashi's Castle.
Oh, I do. I just didn't think of it at all. It didn't even start to cross my mind.
And this one's the rock paper scissors game, similar to what we saw in Lululand, where you have to, rock beats scissors, so you can jump from rock to scissors. Scissors beats paper, you can jump from scissors to paper, and paper beats rock, you can jump from paper to rock. Blank ones are free tiles, right? Yeah, blank sheet is a safe area, a question mark is a secret. So you don't know what it is when you jump on it. And you have to make your way across faster than the other players. That one I cheated on a little bit.
See, I know they have rock, paper, scissors here, but what I'm excited for is for somebody to finally introduce rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. That'll just blow everybody's minds.
I guess I played as a lizard. All right, so we're in our starting area. And you can see we're like way up above here. So it's gonna pick a game to go with first. And it is random. Okay, cool. So we're doing rock, paper, scissors first. So the order that you get to these games in is random. So if you want to be really good, I love how the yellow bear here is just lying down. Okay, if you want to go real fast, I cheated. So if you just so that's the one thing I would make a bigger gap between these things, so that way you can't run down the middle and cheat. That's the way I got past this. So if you just run down between, there's a high chance that a platform either on your left or your right will support your weight, and you can keep jumping on. You just have to spam jump through it. But we're gonna play legit because we haven't lost yet. We've got a minute to beat this, so we're in a safe spot. I guess all the starting ones are safe, I guess. So we go from paper beats rock, rock beats scissors, scissors will beat paper. Oh, I guess it doesn't go that way. We have to go. No, I'm just bad at this. You got to think on your feet, and I've only got 40 seconds left. So rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper. I guess it doesn't go diagonally, it only goes in the order of. So
So a quick apology out to Mad Money 1978 over on YouTube. I was trying to reply to their last comment and actually accidentally blocked them instead.
Oh no.
So, yeah. Just unblocked them, but I wanted to say I'm sorry. That was not on purpose. You did not do anything wrong.
Not enough time on this one. Brain is too slow. Yeah, same. I guess you have to look at the previous line compared to the next line. So, and I started running out of time because I did it. I had already beaten it a silly way. So, what particularly made this one better than? Well, I don't want to say better than other games, but what made this better than what it could have been is that it changes up the music every time you play. Ah! I made it. So every single game has a different music in it, which is like really refreshing. Because sometimes, like, this game isn't particularly long because you go through all these mini games. But in games that are long, hearing the same song for like 20 or 30 minutes straight can begin to get a little grating. So having it where the music, like, we've clearly got like our like lobby warm-up music here. Get in the mood. And then it has a different track for when you actually go and play. And I'm pretty sure every single game uses a different song. Okay, so this is one where, like, you don't want to rush it.
Or you do want to rush it, and you just barrel through as fast as humanly possible.
No, as fast as you can bear.
Oh. Don't mind if I do. While you're doing that, we have a question for you from Metalia over on YouTube. Hey, Alex.
Sure.
How do we get in touch with you for feedback? I'm assuming they mean for the Care Bear Game Jam game. Mm-hmm. We made that belly button dream game, and I can't access your DMs on Twitter or on Discord.
I think that's the one I already said I'd email them, right?
I have no idea.
Is this the one for Hen Game Studio? That's the only one that comes to mind that had jumping into belly buttons for dreams.
Maybe it is. It's Metalia on YouTube. Sorry, I think Hen Game Studio probably had multiple people that were working on it.
Yeah,
being a studio, and also they might have multiple people asking about it, which is totally understandable.
Oh, it was a different game. Okay, all right. Well, I'll have to go back over my notes because we keep notes on all the games that we review. So I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember which one is which. I may be confusing multiple games that had the word dream in the title. So I may need to review that and make sure. This is the disadvantage with playing over 20 games in 36 hours.
a million games
that all use the same IP.
I can see that, things start to become white noise after a little while. It's just funny, like, back when I first started boxing, Coach had me chase chickens too. So it was just very reminiscent.
That is, oh, did I win? I think I won. That sounds like a very, like, Legend of Drunken Master / Dragon Ball Z kind of training to get for boxing.
I was 12 and had way too much energy, and he was just doing it to be a jerk.
See, when I was 12 and I started karate, I just did karate. My sensei always called me SpongeBob.
Why is that?
Because he said I had the memory of a sponge.
Oh, is that a compliment, right?
Yeah, it was a compliment. Okay, cool. And I was like,
cool.
I didn't watch SpongeBob back then, so I was like, what? And he's like this old Italian guy. He's like, you're like SpongeBob. I'm like, what?
I'm guessing he didn't watch it either, because SpongeBob's kind of an airhead.
You're right. It's like not exactly the best compliment for, oh, you're good at remembering the things that I tell you. Mine. Ah! Aha, I win again. Chickens are mean?
If you chase them, they are. It guess kind of depends on the chicken. Some of them, yeah.
So, Metalia, I should actually be able to email you because you had to submit an email in order. Oh, no. I got to memorize. Okay, yellow, red, green, red, blue.
Blue, okay. Green, blue.
I already forgot them all.
Yellow, red.
Whichever one
green,
flashes
blue.
is the one that's going to disappear. Yellow, I'm on green. Wait. Blue was aha. Okay, good. I knew it was like blue and green, and I didn't know which one. It's gonna be green's that one.
Oh, so you have to memorize where those are under it because the.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. Green's gonna go away now.
Oh, good. It does show it again. See, I didn't make it past the first round. The last time I played, so I thought I'd have to memorize the colors the whole time.
No,
so yellow, red, purple.
Yeah, you just remember three. You just remember 3 of the squares. There's only 3 left. There you go.
Yeah. We're gonna make it this time. I'm gonna beat it this time. Wait. Yellow. Okay. This one's red. This one's purple. I think. Yeah. This one's definitely red. Yes. Oh, I already won anyway. Everybody else fell. Woohoo!
This is like Care Bears Battle Royale. It's just a lot less blood.
Yeah, I won. So yeah, when I played this for judging, I did not win that one. I died hard, but I still got a victory because I got 8 out of 9, right?
Okay.
Or 5 out of 6. There's more quests than that.
Pro Kyle asked a really good question over on Twitch. He says, what are the rules on using IP in a game jam? Do you get access to Care Bear assets? Do you just recreate them in VoxEdit?
Yeah. So that's a good question, and it's something where I'm not actually sure entirely. I do take notes on that. So when I give Andy's the one in charge of the game jams. When I give Andy the scores, I make note of how well the theme is used, and it includes, it's not just like good or bad, it's like I'll note that it's perfect if the official NFTs are used, and this doesn't really affect the score as far as like quality of the game. this is a totally separate thing to the side where I let Andy know, like, sort of like side notes on the judging, which is like if the official NFTs were used, if people made custom assets that include the IP. So in this case, this used custom Care Bears that look basically like the official assets, which I would say is like it's a good quality, but I don't know if the IP allows that, and it's not very clear in the rules and stuff. So I would like that to be more clarified in the future. So for example, the Atari Game Jam, it's very clear that they want you to use the IP. That's part of the Game Jam, is to use the Atari IPs. For like Care Bears and Smurfs, it was not very clear if you were supposed to use the IP, if you were supposed to make custom assets for the IP. So I would say that making custom assets that are in the theme of, like using this color style, that's definitely fine. Using like the faces, the likenesses of the characters might be. And I'm not going to say it is because I don't know. And I'm trying to get clarification on that for future rules, so it's very clear in the future. Because some IPs might be totally fine with it, other IPs might not. I will say that, like, when it comes time to publish the game to the map, you know, if you're going to take this Game Jam entry and make it be an official part of the season, it should probably, hopefully, be all official assets, right? Maybe Care Bears will make some sort of arrangement to mint these as custom assets, or they would replace them with the official assets. I'm not sure what that agreement's going to look like, but we'll see. Candidly Kristen says, I feel like with Pororo, though, people had to create their own, from what I remember. I think it depends on the Game Jam itself, but more clarity would be great. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, Pororo might have been fine with it. Care Bears might not be, and I'm really not sure. So I always give Andy the feedback either way, so that way he knows, and so he can communicate with the IP on what they're comfortable with, especially when it comes time to publish those Game Jam winners as part of the seasons. So I think in the future we should hopefully have it on the official rules in the Medium article, and I'm going to push for that because it would be nice to have that clarity.
Yeah, just front and center, nice big bold letters. You can use, you can't use. There you go.
When does public land sales start?
They've been going on for quite some time now.
Yeah, when do they start up again? On Polygon? Soon TM. I don't have a date that I can share on that. I do. It's close enough that I have a date that I know, but I can't share it yet. Be looking for announcements on Twitter and Medium.
Keep those eyes peeled.
Keep them very peeled, because I'm gonna say it's gone from soon TM to very soon TM.
Oh. I'm all a tingle.
Crasher on Twitch says the safest way is using their own assets IP from TSP Marketplace. That is definitely the safest option. Like, that's when I go from good, an indicator of good. This is that they're custom assets that are well made and in the theme, to perfect. This is using actually the official assets, but we don't score people higher on the judging. At least my team doesn't score games higher for using the official NFTs versus using custom NFTs. Like, it's not like you have to buy into the brand to get a higher scoring game. This is a separate category that doesn't go into the scores average. It's just strictly so that way, like, it could technically be a tiebreaker, maybe, although I've never seen scores tie when you consider there's, 3 judges in my team and then multiple other judges all voting. I've never seen a tie in the top 10 for the final averages. How can we know the rank of the rest of the 10 winners? I would ask Andy for that. Like
I thought places 1 through 3 were the only ones with actual places, and 4 through 10,
they're called the runners up. Yeah.
Yeah, they were just the runners up. Like they didn't actually have an assignment of value. Like there isn't a 4th place.
Yeah, I mean they're all. It's called 4th through 10th on the Medium article, but they're not.
Yeah.
We don't announce them here on the stream. The 4th through 10th, like they do technically have a score. All the games have a score, but we haven't in the past generally released those numbers because we don't necessarily want people like either getting upset with somebody right ahead of them or people being mean to people who scored under them. Like we're trying to foster like creativity and community here, not necessarily like it is a competition, and we want friendly competition. We don't want people like nitpicking on, you know, being a couple points difference from each other. Yeah, you can ask for those top 10 scores from Andy. He does have them. And I'm not sure if he wants them shared generally. But I'm always happy to give the judges feedback from my team. In this case, Joe sat this one out because he was recovering from his 24 hours, his 48 hours of streaming in 1 week. He did 2 24-hour streams in 1 week. So I was like, don't worry about the game jam. You go nap. Conrad, I, and another person on my staff, Sam, we did the judging for this jam. So I'm happy to share that feedback. I was gonna say more about how we judge on like the assets and how close it is to the branding. So my scoring is perfect if like all the custom assets like look really, really good and on brand and on theme for like what the game jam theme is, and also a use of the official NFTs. Then I have good, which is not using the official NFTs, but all the custom ones are on brand or on theme. I don't remember what I called it. There's like okay if there's custom assets that are kind of like on theme, but the quality's not as good. You know, we're all at different stages of artistry. I keep on hovering over the Discord window and it's messing with the way that Lucas looks. Okay, there we go. Fixed it.
How does Lucas look? Is it amazing?
It was just the Discord overlay of like,
gotcha.
Do you want to hang up on Lucas? I do not.
Thank you.
Joe is a beast for doing that. Yeah, those 48 hours. I was with him for a lot of those hours, but not for all of them. I had to sleep at some point.
I was with him for some of those hours.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them.
Yeah, Panda was there for the whole 24 hours on the Sandbox stream. So good on Panda for that. Yeah. Then I have. I just want to get through the asset rating real quickly. Then I have poor rating, which it means that it was not reflective of the brand elements at all. Typically we see with lower scoring entries in general, oftentimes they're not following the theme very well either.
Guideline.
So you can kind of see when you look at, if you look at like all, you know, in this case it was a little bit over 20 games that were reviewed. The perfects and the goods and the okays were kind of all at the top, and then there were a few okays and then some like poor ones down at the bottom. And so when it's poor, it's oftentimes because they made a game that just didn't fit the game jam theme at all. There weren't too many in the Care Bears game jam that were like that, but we've had other game jams where there have been a lot of entries that just did not get what the theme was. And so we make a note that it's like, okay, if we're looking at what that has made a difference in the top 10 before, because somebody made a game that was really good, really fun, but it did not at all fit what the theme of the game jam was.
Yeah.
And so Andy saw that I made that note and like considered it and was like, okay, like this was a good game and we want to like encourage them for that, but we can't let it be in the top 10 if it's not what the game jam is for, right? If you're making, say, like a tower defense game jam, and you make a game that is like this game. Like this game won first place because it's a lot of fun and is really well made and looks really good. And everything about the game is good, but it would not win a tower defense game jam, right? And if it was even in the top 10 of the tower defense game jam, a lot of people would go, what the heck? This is not a tower defense game. Why is it in the top 10 for the game jam? So that's why we do that. Okay. There was another question.
The other question is kind of unrelated to the game jam stuff. So if you want to finish it, I have it written down. I can just ask it later.
Okay. Well, I did see some other people asking. So, let me just make a note of who wants feedback for. Oops. Sorry, whacked my microphone stand. So I know Hen Game Studios wanted feedback from the judges. So I can send that to them. I'm pretty sure I have their email from a previous time they asked. And there was somebody whose name was with an M who was saying something about a belly button.
Metalia.
Okay, Metalia.
And I got they sent me their they sent me their information just now on Twitter, so I'll pass that along.
Okay. Did that include the game name?
Yes, it does.
Okay, good. All right. So I'll get that feedback, and then Pietro Perlson. I think you were asking for more feedback. Was that the racing game? Was it? I feel like that was the racing game. Because I could give that feedback now. That was Sandbox Studios. Which one? I know their name was up here somewhere. Not in there. The color if you can. Yeah, so I can give some feedback on that. That was in the top 10. So was it you that was asking for more feedback? I saw that. Yes, any feedback for developmental purpose. So I'd be happy to give that here if you want. Or I can give it privately, whichever you like. I mean, usually, like, when we play games on stream, we give feedback, but it's a little different when you're, like, actually in the top 10, I guess. For some people, it might be.
Which group are you talking to right now? Or referencing right now?
The Pietro Perlson, who did the
Gotcha.
Who did the Care Bears. Draw it if you can. I think there's something like that.
Oh, the crown one?
Yeah. Color it if you can. Not draw it.
Color it if you can. There you go.
So I can give feedback now if you want, or I can email it. Just let me know in the chat. All right. Let's you know what? While we're waiting for their reply.
Can I ask that question now?
Oh yes, yeah.
So
for some reason, I thought you already had.
No. You asked me if I wanted to, and I said I was going to wait until you were done talking about the game jam stuff, so we could stay on theme.
Okay, yeah, let's go off theme now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done. So I am nobody over on YouTube asks, hey Lucas, do you have a bucket list of things you wish to accomplish in the sandbox personally? And same question for Alex too.
Ooh.
I see. Here's the thing. I have a really good answer to this question, but I don't want to say what it is because I want to be the first person that does it. So like, I'm just
sure.
I'm like, Alex, what you got?
I've got a similar answer, but I wouldn't even consider it a bucket list item. Like, I've got a similar thing that I'm working on that I can't say because I want my team to be the first one who does it, and we're on the right path to get it done. But I would say that that's just one step of a greater bucket list item that I can share.
Okay.
And it's just that I want to release good quality games that get people excited to be playing the sandbox. And so, I mean, I think my time working in the sandbox as a creator and as staff has already gotten people excited about building in the sandbox. in a sense, I've kind of checked off that bucket list item halfway, in that I've got people pumped up and excited to be in this space and build in this space, and I've helped foster a community that's creative and uplifting to the people in it, who have been able to go on and make cool things and make money doing those cool things. So when you see like the other people on our stream team who, like, I was the first person in really streaming the Sandbox regularly. I wasn't I took over this kind of accidentally. There was somebody else who did like the first few streams for the Sandbox. Yeah, and it didn't quite work out with them. I don't know what the arrangement was, but they kind of like ended up not really doing it anymore. And I'm not going to name names. They still do stuff, and they're still kind of tangent to the space, and that's fine. Like they went off and did their own thing, which is totally, they were already doing their own thing. I think that's why they didn't take on doing the Sandbox regularly. But it was kind of like oh no, we don't have this person to do these streams anymore. And I was like, oh, that sounds kind of like fun. So I just kind of like did it for all like 10 of our viewers. and then we've seen this go into the 4 digits, during Alpha Season 1, which blew us away. And things have slowed down a little bit now, but we're still usually hitting a couple hundred viewers per stream. So the Joe's live stream, what was the number?
I mean, there was at one point it was already 500,000 minutes of view time or something like that, and that was shortly after the stream had aired.
Yeah, that I think it was 500,000 minutes, right? Was the like, while it was live time. So like that number doesn't keep going up because it was just while live, but it was like it was a lot of time. Just insane to see that kind of viewership. For 24 hours consistently, Joe was pulling at least 200 people watching. And then it
which
was,
is amazing.
Flow. Yeah, which is great. So it's really cool to see people get that hyped about the Sandbox and to have been there helping make that happen.
But to add on to what you're saying right now, I wouldn't be here nearly as much as I am if it wasn't for you. You've absolutely contributed to me being more involved in the space. You gave me a platform to speak from, and you've helped me along the way as well. So I am, the proof is in the pudding, and the pudding is right here.
And it's delicious. Because it's lemon pudding.
Oh. But please continue. I didn't mean to throw you off.
So that's kind of like, that's half of that check mark for me, but the other half is that there's nothing wrong with lemon pudding, Hoddle Hill. It's delicious.
There isn't. It is.
So the other half of that check mark is I want people like outside of my community to get pulled in by a cool game that I'm helping make. And I don't mean just the Sandbox in general, but specific experiences. Like, I'm a landowner. I've been a landowner since the first land sale. I bought that land because I wanted to publish games on it, which is not something I've been able to do yet. But I'm looking forward to, and I have plans for what I want to do on those spaces. And I want to make games that are engaging and exciting enough for people to want to sign up for the Sandbox just to play that game. And that would be an accomplishment for me. Giveaway time. We do need to do a giveaway.
I can do that. There is one thing I want to drop in the chat though, before we get off of this topic. So somebody actually just sent me a message and they're like, "Hey, you should talk about this," and I was just like, you know what? I probably should. For me personally, one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is I have a good amount of land, and I don't think that I'm ever going to be able to really develop all of it. And because of that, I've been thinking long and hard about like how to properly utilize it so it's not just a barren wasteland. And one of the things that me and the Voxelution team came up with was almost like a scholarship program for developers that cannot afford to purchase land. If they want to come and do some sort of a partnership program with me, then that's something that I'm going to be implementing here in the near future. And so it's just, I want to give an opportunity to people that can't afford it, and just sharing the benefits of doing all this together.
Yeah. I've talked about this a little bit before, but with the lands that I have, like I do have plans for a lot of those spaces.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to reserve some of it for publishing like community made things from the Wizzyverse. So, you know, people who own Wizzy avatars being able to compete in like exclusive game jams, and then being able to do like a rotation of publishment for publishment
We get what you're saying.
publishing.
Don't need to nitpick.
uh, Publishing in rotation the various like game jam winners, and also stuff from the community. You know, that's not.
That's a
necessarily
wonderful
during a game jam.
idea.
Yeah, just be like, hey, you won this game jam, you get like 3 weeks of like spotlight. And if we can monetize the games, then you know, like a revenue share. Be like,
That would be
like a
incredible.
like a rent-free rental agreement, right? Because typically the way you would want to arrange a rental agreement for land is, you know, the landowner owns that space but publishes your game and then does some sort of split on the revenue, where like the fact that they own that space and are providing it to you, for no like upfront cost to you as a game creator, means that they're getting some amount of the revenue and then sharing the rest to you because it's your game. I don't know exactly how those monetization models are going to work out, but that's the way I would like to be able to do something like that. But if I have a space that's reserved for game jam winners, then I wouldn't even, you know, make like a rental agreement. It would be, well, it would be a rental agreement, I guess, but it's not set up the same way, right? It's not with like a prearranged like, okay, we're going to do a contract for 6 months and your game's going to be published here or something like that. It's like you won the game jam, we're going to promote you in rotation with these other games, but to do some sort of revenue split still, where the creators of those games get that passive income just for winning.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with the gaming platform, play to earn gaming platform Cometh. It was it's like a spaceship mining game, and it was on Polygon for a while. Or it's on Polygon, I shouldn't say for a while, it's where it still is. But they had rental contracts built into the game. So like I owned a spaceship, I could rent that spaceship out to anybody. Like I would just basically put the rental contract together and then place that on the marketplace, and then somebody just had to agree to the stipulations behind the rental contract, and then they own the assets for that amount of time. And it was wonderfully simple and straightforward. So seeing things like that give me so much hope and excitement for the future of possibilities here.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to, it almost like it turns landowners, like people can own land for different reasons, and a lot of times when people first see the sandbox, they see it as being a landowner is you need to be a game developer. But the way I see it is like that is one option. Another option is that you're a game publisher.
Yeah.
And the game publisher route is where I think you'll see a lot of the whales who have bought large sections of land, like Pranksy and Whale Shark and stuff. You'll see that you know they don't have the time or the desire necessarily to develop all that land. They're going to want to publish other people's land, but they'll do some sort of rental agreement, whether it's you know, no money up front and you get a split of the income, or maybe it's a certain like fee to start with, and then you know it's up to the creator to make their game engaging enough to generate the revenue to pay for that fee. So you'll see it work different ways, but yeah, I'm excited for what it means, like as far as people who want to build in the space. That means that there's opportunities out there without having to own land, to get somebody to agree, be like, hey, your game idea seems cool, I think we can get this in front of a lot of eyeballs, let's promote this and get this out in a space where people will see it.
I like it.
See.
I like it a lot.
I thought I saw a question.
So Randuxy says, is the Sandbox's main priority at this time to just get brand partners? And my personal opinion is no. It's exposure to the right groups. Because I mean, if you look at Sebastian's schedule, he's always going to game conference after game conference after game conference, and a majority of the people that are at those conferences that you see him visiting all the time is developers like you and me. Like
Yeah,
it's
they don't care that Paris Hilton has, a game experience, or that that Clone X has playable avatars, right? That's not that's there are people who do care about that, right? But that's not exclusively
yeah.
what it is. And um I I think somebody told me that there were 700 Sandbox employees, but then I saw another number that there was 400. I don't know how many people work here. Um, I work from home.
A million.
I have a home office, so I don't. I've never been to any of the studios. I've only met coworkers at conventions, so I don't. I don't have the exact head count, right? But I do know that we can't say it's the main priority, because there's a lot of people who do work that has nothing to do with that, has nothing to do with partners. Our main priority right now is our 0.8 upgrade, right? We're trying to bring the next iteration of our game development tool into the spotlight, which one does have some brand partnership focused features, specifically the stuff that we're trying to do around like music production, because even before, like, the next upcoming thing is like Snoop Dogg stuff. So we're trying to make features that will make Snoop Dogg's music and music videos and stuff engaging to the audience in the sandbox space. So that is one part of stuff that we're focused on. But if you look at what and yeah, lighting, somebody just pointed out the 0.8 lighting will break things for good for you. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what the system specs are on it. We're always trying to optimize things. So like, as we're adding new cool pretty features, we're also trying to make things work smoother.
Smoother long term too.
Yeah, but there's features that we're working on that are specifically for gameplay and not specifically for partners, like swimming, crawling, crouching, flying, multiplayer quest interaction. So you can play side by side with other players, like in the same, like with the quests synchronized and being able to see platforms moving at the same time. So like, we'll have that Fall Guys experience, but like whatever you want to make it. So there's a lot more focus on that. But like, there's departments, right? We've got people who are in charge of a department of like doing brand partnerships. We have other departments that are focused on other things. So I think what you might see is a lot of the brand partnerships, because that's a lot of the stuff that's worth announcing, because the small wins week to week that we have in the development of the game tools are sometimes secret, and we can't talk about them until they come up for release. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the background to advance the tools that you're not going to see until later. Projectile capability. Well, we've already seen people doing like catapults and guns and stuff, but there is, again, another department that's working on different game modes types. So right now everything has that adventure RPG kind of feel to it. We want that to be a drop down where you can select, I want to make a platformer, I want to make an RPG, I want to make a shooter, I want to make a racer. And we're working on the foundation of like, what does that mean? Like, not just when you say you want a shooter, like what features does that mean? What needs to be turned on? What needs to be turned off? What changes need to happen to the way the camera works and the way the motion works? And then how gems and catalysts fit into all that with game balancing. So that is something that is being worked on. I saw a question about the Halloween memorabilia.
I was just talking about that.
So I've heard that has started, that there was a bug where it wasn't showing up for everybody, and that it's starting to roll out the fix.
I can confirm that that's indeed true, because when I woke up this morning, my memorabilia had the little red X on it saying I didn't do what I needed to earn it. And I just went back and checked on it. And I now have the green check mark that says unlocked at November 1st, 2020. So, and that was within the last 2 hours. I know Panda sent out a message saying, what is it? Issues with the Halloween memorabilia. Not all of them have been sent, and the dashboard team knows about this and is actively working on the fix. So that has started to come through.
I have not gotten mine. I think I'm eligible based on everything I know. You did not need to complete every quest in the experiences, although I did complete almost all of them. I think the Hell's Gate one, I didn't. The Hell's Gate one, I think I messed something up in it because I did like complete most of that game, but not all of it. But I was told that it wasn't. It was just visiting those experiences. You didn't have to do any quests in them. And I did visit all of them, so I think I'm eligible for it, but I don't have it yet. So we'll see. Did we drop the giveaway form?
We did.
Okay. Can we drop that link
close
one more
that
time?
Out? Yeah.
And then give a couple more minutes.
Yeah, for some of those experiences, I didn't complete all the quests. There was one of them where I literally just visited. I ran around, I did my thing in there, and then I remember something came up at my house and I walked away and just left the computer running for 8 hours. And I was just standing there. And when I got back to it that night, I remember just being so tired, I just shut everything down. And then I woke up the next day
and a pumpkin appeared.
In place of the computer. It was crazy. But no, it was the time frame had ended, and I was just like, oh man. And so I thought I had to complete all the quests, and like I said, in one of them I didn't complete any. I mean, I may have started one of them.
Yeah. Randuxy asks, why limit the style drop down and not leave it all open to make something crazy? Well, I didn't say it was limited.
Yeah, it's probably going to be all or specific. Like, do you know what you want to do? Do you want a free open world? Do whatever you want. There you go. It'll continue progressing as is. But if you have a style that you want to go for, then it'll have ways to help you maximize efficiency, so you can make what you want and not have to take a year to do it.
Yeah, this is kind of what I was describing with the drop down. It's not that it's turning things off and locking you out of them. It's setting up defaults, right? So you move faster in a car racing game than you move when you walk around as a human, typically. So yeah, you're not usually running at 80 miles an hour, and you're not usually walking.
Don't tell me how to run.
And you're not usually driving at like 2 miles an hour, right? Not typically. Everybody's different. You've got some Usain Bolts in your family. You've got a couple of I don't know, what's a really slow car?
Ricky Bobby.
You got a couple Ricky Bobbies, really Ricky slow Bobbies. Cars.
No, they're the really fast cars, the opposite side of the spectrum.
So what you're doing there is you're setting up the camera set. Like, camera settings are complicated for games. I don't know if you've ever tried making a game from scratch and setting up what the camera is going to do. I've never tried making a 3D game from scratch. I have tried making 2D games from scratch and getting like one of the first things you do is you set up, okay, this is how my player moves around. You set up like the arrow keys or WASD, and your character, like Legend of Zelda style, just kind of, you know, runs across the screen and up and down. And you, the camera doesn't follow you, right? The camera's just static in place. And then you start coding what the camera's going to do. And it should have some sort of like buffer where, like, if you're in the middle of the screen and you move around, it's probably not going to move the camera. But as you get towards the edge, the camera will start to follow you. And then the faster you move, the faster that camera is going to need to move to keep up with you. So, like that works for that style of game. But there's different styles of game, right? You can have an RPG where, like, you reach the edge of a map, or not an RPG. Like, if you look at the original Legend of Zelda, each screen was one map, and when you got to the edge of the screen, it would transition over to the next map. So there's these different kinds of presets, and yeah, you can do things that are in between those, but the goal of the Sandbox game is to make game development super accessible. We're trying to make it so people who are voxel artists can make a game without having to know how to code camera settings. And the camera settings for 3D games are way more complicated because it involves things like how closely it follows the character when they start moving fast. So you've got like rubber banding between different distances away from the player. As a player is walking, the camera's going to kind of stay in one position. As they start running, the camera may move out a little bit to get a wider view so you can see what's up ahead sooner. But there's different factors to it, and depending on the way your gameplay works, those factors may be opposite of each other, right? Yeah, in game design we call that 3C, character, controller, and camera. Yep. I've got so many meetings in my calendar history that said 3C on them. Yeah, 3C is one of the biggest parts of that preset system, is like how the camera's going to follow the character, how the character is going to move, and what the control setup is. So having those presets is just going to like change a bunch of things automatically, so you don't have to manually go through and click on each and every setting. You can still do that. Like if we go into the Game Maker right now, you can change those camera settings. And people do all the time for the game jams. I think we're ready to close that form if we haven't already.
Already done. About to be done deduping it.
All right. So when we go to global parameters and we go to camera, select camera, we've got a couple different options here. And then we got the cam distance, the distance between the camera and the avatar. Camera strafe travel time, the time it takes the camera to reach that offset, meaning the camera strafe offset, which is the offset the camera takes when the avatar moves sideways. So it's setting up not just the how far the camera will move, but how fast it will go between those minimum and maximum positions. So those vary widely between different game styles. I think we used to have a drop down in here. Oh no, it's still in here. So Adventure RPG is the controller that's selected. So we plan on having more controller types here, like a racing game, like a first-person shooter. And selecting between those different ones is going to affect what your different like walk, run, sprint speeds are, what your different damage outputs are for different things. So yeah, it's going to make a big difference. But it's not about limiting your creativity. It's about letting you jump to your creative idea faster, right? Setting up all these camera settings is annoying. Like it's a fine tuning
to do it well.
Yeah, it's a fine tuned tweaking thing that is not fun to do, and takes a lot of like testing and stuff. So we're trying to like get this to the point where you can select it, and you may want to tweak it after that, but the presets will hopefully be good.
Hey,
Any
Alex.
other questions? What's up? Do we have a winner?
We do have a winner.
Okay.
So congratulations goes out to, and I'm probably going to butcher this, Nahar Elijah over on Twitter. You have won Wizzy's purple hat.
Hey,
Please
another Twitter winner.
wear with prize. No, I'm sorry. Did I say Twitter? I meant Twitch.
You just oh.
Yep.
And all the
Twitch.
Twitter viewers riot.
Yeah,
You were their one hope.
There was a few. There was some people that entered on Twitter today. I'm looking at the forum right now, and I see a few of them. But yes, Twitch. Twitch is definitely where that one was.
All right. Well, I think that's it for us today. Thank you all for watching. We hope you had fun. Go check out the game jam. I'm going to show you guys how you can play real quickly. How you can find the game jam.
Please and thank you.
So, Lucas, can you drop the link to the Game Dizzy tool or the URL?
Was already doing it.
Dashboard.gamedizzy.com. And it's real easy. Now, this won't 100% get you all Game Jam results unless Game Dizzy goes in and tweaks these things. But I'm pretty sure the way it works is that when people put in GJ Star Atlas, it automatically gets grouped into all the Star Atlas games. And it will also work with like Star Atlas GJ or Game Jam Star Atlas or Star Atlas Game Jam. Like it usually is pretty good about picking those variations. But if you go here on the right side and click Game Jam entries and you hover over which game you want to play. So let's say we want to do the Care Bears Game Jam. You scroll down to it and you click only. And it will uncheck all the game jams that are not from the Care Bears Game Jam and give you just the Care Bears one. Now, I think that the filter might have been updated because there were definitely more than 14 games that I played, and I found all of them on this tool. So some of them may... I think some people didn't enter correctly. Like there were some technicalities in there where they put in the title and they didn't put Care Bears or something, in which case you may have a harder time finding them. But for the most part, why did this show up in the Care Bears Game Jam?
I don't know.
Maybe there's something strange going on. These are Ragnarok games. Well, for the most part, this works.
And if you know the name of it, then it'll be even more precise.
Yeah. But if you're just looking to browse, this is helpful. I will say, like, for the game jams, we don't use this tool for determining whether or not you qualify to be in a game jam. There have been games that we've had to go and look for manually because they didn't show up on the Genie. The Genie tool is great, but there have been times where like it didn't update that day or something, so I've had to go and find something manually. So if you don't see your game on this list, don't worry, that probably did not affect it being in the game jam at all. It's just if you're looking to browse for game jam entries, this is a great way to do it. So if you want to play something from the Tower Game Jam, click only and it'll show you these. And usually this page range is very close. All right. So that's how you can play those games. Go play the Care Bears games. They were a lot of fun.
Go play all of them.
Yes.
Every single one.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. We will see you on Saturday.
Good night, everyone.